Buckle up, because what's happening inside the Kardashian Jenner world right now could be their most dangerous storm yet. Kris Jenner, the mastermind behind reality TV's most powerful dynasty, is facing cracks in her personal life that might spiral into a full-blown scandal. And if Corey Gamble decides to open his mouth, this empire could be shaken in ways no outside force has ever managed. But that's not all. While Kris wrestles with her own imploding relationship, another subplot is brewing between Kim Kardashian and Scott Disick, and it's got people whispering that the family may be heading toward yet another controversy that nobody saw coming. It all started with a scene that should have been glamorous: Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter concert in Las Vegas. Stars everywhere, flashing lights, the ultimate night out. But instead of soaking up the music, Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble reportedly got into a heated argument right there in the crowd. Witnesses say Kris looked furious, her lips tight, her voice sharp, while Corey was left defending himself. The tension was so thick it pulled Khloe Kardashian into the mix, quietly stepping in to calm things down before the spat escalated into a full-on spectacle. To outsiders, it looked like just another couple's quarrel, but insiders say this wasn't an isolated fight. It was one of many, and a sign that the relationship has been hanging by a thread for months. Public blow-ups have become harder to ignore. What's worse, people close to the couple claim they can't seem to go anywhere without clashing. And the Vegas scene was just the latest chapter in a much bigger story. Behind closed doors, the tension runs deeper than arguments. Sources say the core issue isn't love at all, it's money. After nearly a decade by Kris's side, Corey reportedly feels he's given up years of his life to her world, and now wants something in return. Insiders whisper he's demanding millions as compensation for the stress, the sacrifices, and the constant pressure of living under Kris's shadow. But here's the twist: Kris never married Corey, which means legally he has no claim on her massive fortune. That fortune, built on reality TV deals, product launches, branding empires, and decades of shrewd business moves, remains completely hers. From a legal standpoint, Corey walks away with nothing, and that's where the story turns dark. Because according to insiders, if Corey doesn't get the payout he feels entitled to, he's ready to flip the script and start talking. Think about it. Corey has been in that house for years. He's overheard private conversations, been present for meltdowns, and witnessed sides of the family the cameras will never show. He stood in the background while Kris counseled her daughters, managed scandals, and made decisions that shaped the public narrative. If Corey decides to spill what he knows, the fallout could be catastrophic. We're not talking vague gossip here. We're talking about secrets only an insider could know. Secrets that might reveal how this empire really runs. And let's not forget the family already has a history of whispers about shady dealings. Former nannies have sued over unpaid wages. Developers once accused them of stiffing them on app work. These accusations faded from headlines, but they left a stain. And Corey, who stood right there beside Kris through all of it, might just be sitting on details that no NDA could fully silence if he felt motivated enough. The cracks have even been visible in public. Remember when Kris and Corey attended Jeff Bezos' wedding festivities in Venice? Cameras caught them on a boat ride back to the hotel, and the vibe was icy. Kris, visibly frustrated, reportedly barked orders at Corey, telling him to direct staff so she could have things her way. To onlookers, the dynamic looked less like partners in love and more like boss and employee. That image spread quickly online, fueling questions about whether Corey was tired of being treated like an accessory. For nearly 10 years, Corey's role has been complicated. He hasn't just been Kris's boyfriend. He's played bodyguard, assistant, confidant, and sometimes business partner. He's been the one to step in when chaos struck, the one to keep things steady when scandals threatened to boil over. At least that's how insiders say he sees it. In Corey's mind, he's been the unsung hero, the glue that held Kris together while the family rode wave after wave of controversy. And he believes that deserves recognition, and yes, compensation. But while Corey builds his case, whispers say Kris may already be looking past him. She's 69 now, but appears younger than ever thanks to her investments in cosmetic treatments. Her empire is stronger, her wealth larger, her influence untouchable. To critics, Kori looks like yesterday's news, an accessory she no longer needs. Rumors swirl that Kris wants someone fresher, someone new, someone who matches the next phase of her life. And that leaves Kori not just sidelined, but potentially dangerous. Meanwhile, another storm brews in the Kardashian world, this time centered around Kim Kardashian and Scott Disick. Scott, Kourtney's ex and the father of her children, has had a turbulent history. But insiders say Kim has been quietly stepping in as his biggest supporter, encouraging him to focus on growth, reinvention, and proving he's moved beyond old habits. She checks in, she protects him, and she treats him like family. Some even whisper she treats him like more than family. That closeness has sparked rumors that Kim and Scott's bond could be blurring lines. While nothing has been confirmed, the speculation alone is enough to cause tension. Kourtney reportedly rolls her eyes at the idea of Kim entertaining Scott in any capacity, let alone something deeper. But Kim seems unfazed. To her, Scott's still part of the family, and still entertaining enough to keep the show alive. And let's be honest, in a family where storylines mean ratings, keeping Scott close isn't just personal, it's business. The speculation doesn't stop there. Scott's rapid weight loss caught fans off guard, with whispers about possible Ozempic use swirling after cameras filmed his fridge stocked with suspicious medication instead of food. At first he brushed it off, but fans caught inconsistencies in his story, and some even suggested the fridge shot wasn't accidental at all but staged to spark conversation. In the Kardashian world, nothing is ever fully real or fully fake. And this rumor became content in itself, fueling more headlines and more speculation. But while Kim and Scott's connection simmers in the background, the biggest storm still circles Kris and Kori. Their fights aren't just private, they're spilling into public view more than ever. Eyewitnesses describe scenes where Kris snaps at Kori like a boss scolding staff. At Beyoncé's concert, she turned her back mid-conversation, leaving Kori visibly frustrated. At another event, sources claim Khloe once again had to step in, quietly trying to calm Kori down. These aren't the actions of a couple in love. They're signs of a partnership unraveling. The stakes are enormous. Kris Jenner isn't just a mother or a reality star. She's the architect of the Kardashian brand, the manager who turned her family into billion-dollar businesses. If Corey Gamble decides to unleash what he knows, it wouldn't just be gossip. It could tear into the very foundation of the Kardashian-Jenner image. Think about the headlines, the book deals, the interviews. Corey could become the family's worst nightmare, and yet, insiders claim Kris may have underestimated him all along. For years, people dismissed him as her much younger boy toy, a man content to stand in the shadows. But the man in the shadows always sees the most. He's been in rooms others couldn't access, listening, watching, absorbing everything. And if silence was the price of admission, Corey may be ready to cash that silence in. Some sources describe Kris as a slave to love, someone who gets swept up in the romance and emotion of her relationships. But with Corey, the story feels less romantic now. The patience is gone, the argument's louder, the threat's more real. And in the Kardashian world, where every detail becomes content, this could be one storyline they won't control. So, here we are. A relationship hanging by a thread, a man allegedly threatening to reveal secrets, and a family already juggling whispers about Kim and Scott. The question is no longer whether Kris and Corey will survive. It's what happens when they finally collapse. Will Corey walk away quietly, or will he detonate everything he knows, setting off a chain reaction the Kardashians can't spin away? Because if Corey really does start talking, the stories won't just be about Kris. They'll be about Kim, Kourtney, Khloe, Kendall, and Kylie. They'll be about deals made in private, fights the cameras never aired, decisions that shaped fortunes, and secrets that could shatter the carefully curated image of America's most famous family. And let's not forget, the family thrives on scandal. Every controversy, from divorces to breakups to feuds, has been turned into content. But if Corey's secrets are real, they may not be the kind that can be polished for reality TV. They may be the kind that makes the world look at the Kardashians differently forever. So now the world watches. Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble stand at a breaking point. She may end the year single, while he may walk away with stories worth millions. And while Kris fights to hold her empire together, Kim's bond with Scott adds yet another layer of chaos to a family that never seems to escape the headlines. The cracks are showing. The tension is impossible to ignore. And if Corey Gamble truly decides to unleash what he knows, this could be the beginning of the Kardashian dynasty's most dangerous chapter yet. So what do you think? Is Kim's closeness with Scott harmless, or could it be crossing into dangerous territory? And when it comes to Kris and Corey, do you think this breakup is inevitable? Or could Corey's revenge story rewrite Kardashian history? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because one thing's for sure. In this family, the scandals never stop, and the next twist is always right around the corner.